All right, welcome to the introduction video for Fusion 360 for your IME 100 class. So I am here in the main Fusion 360 window here. Hopefully all of you can see the design showing up on the top left here. Um, Before we get started going into the actual design, I have a couple of initial settings that we would like to go over. For most of this class, we will be using inches as our default unit. So on the left side in this tree here, the browser tree, you can change the units by um, selecting this arrow next to the document settings and clicking units, which is millimeters by default. You can click the edit button on the next to the um, units there. On the right, we get this command prompt which says what is the unit type, and I'm going to change it to inches. It is also good practice to set this as your default units because for all our designs we will be using inches. Then I click OK. Next, another important setting that I generally have is if you click your name on the top right, you have preferences up there. So in the preferences, I used to work with SolidWorks before. So pan, zoom, orbit shortcuts, and we have SolidWorks. So this by default will be selected for Fusion, but having SolidWorks is good because for the corresponding reason that I'm going to be using. That's just a personal freedom. So if you use your mouse button, the middle mouse button, your scroll, that scrolls in and out, that allows you to zoom in and zoom out. If you press the middle mouse button and then rotate under these preferences, then it allows you to um, rotate the part. If you control and press the middle button, if you press control and then press the middle button and move left and right, you get to span left and right. So that's, and then left click and drag is selection. So this is just my preference. If you prefer the default Fusion preference settings, you're welcome to use that as well. So now that we have here, the first thing we would like to create um, in order to start making a 3D model is create a 2D sketch of whatever we are going to be making. So on the top left, you have this button which says Create Sketch. So I select that, and then I select, if you're not able to see it clearly, um, another way you can rotate. So the way I'm rotating right now is pressing the middle button and then rotating. You can also do the same thing here on the top right with this box that is there. If you click the home button there, it'll take you to the default isometric view. So that home button highlights only when your cursor goes next to it. Now let me select the, so it allows you to select any of these three planes. I'm going to select the bottom plane here, which is parallel to the top plane. So now the screen automatically changes to face from the top. And now what we can do is let's go ahead and make a rectangle. So on the top left, so we you can see that the pane has changed shape. Um, on the top, instead of the solid, um, we have now into the sketch. Students generally get confused. So if you see on the top right a button with a check mark which says finish sketch, that means you are inside a sketch. I'm going to create a 2-point rectangle, select the corner point here, and then I go and create the rectangle like that. I don't worry about the actual size or dimension of the rectangle for now. So next, after this, what I'm going to do is I'm clicking sketch dimension, and let's see here. I'm going to dimension this, the bottom, as 7 inches. I click enter. Um, the part automatically expands, and then the vertical height I select, and then that is going to be 14 inches. I click enter. There we go. So we have the And this is the size of our stock. This is the X and Y dimensions for our stock for our coaster project. So that's why I'm creating this. I click Finish Sketch. And then the next thing we're going to do is create an extrusion. So I click Extrude. And the distance we're going to be doing is 0.25. So I'm extruding it for 0.25 um, in the upward direction. So you can, if you rotate, you'll see which direction it's extruding. Then I click OK. So there we go. So we have our stock created for our coaster. If you have any questions, please go ahead and submit that in the comment section. In the next video, we will see how to cut out our coaster in the design on Fusion 360. Thank you.